Emma was 22 years old when she moved to Rose Hill Street, a quiet street filled with old houses, small gardens, and neighbors who preferred silence over conversation. She didn't choose this place because she loved it. She moved here because she needed a fresh start. For years, Emma dreamed of being an artist. She loved painting scenes from her imagination, floating cities, strange animals, glowing lakes, skies filled with colors nobody had names for. But life hadn't been kind to her. She failed an important exam, her parents didn't support her dream, and she spent months feeling lost. So when she found an old, cheap house available for rent, she thought, maybe this is where I start again. The house looked abandoned from the outside. The walls were cracked, the paint was peeling, and the windows looked like tired eyes. But inside, it felt different. It felt alive. There was something warm, something mysterious in the air. On her first night, Emma walked through every room with a small flashlight because the electricity wasn't fully working yet. She opened a door she thought was a bathroom, but found something unexpected instead. A hidden studio. "Wait, what is this room?" she whispered. Inside were broken brushes, dried paint tubes, and several canvases leaning against the wall, covered completely with white cloth. The whole room smelled of old paint and forgotten dreams. Her heartbeat grew faster. Someone had lived here before. Someone had painted here. Someone had left in a hurry or simply disappeared. Emma slowly pulled the cloth off the first canvas. Her breath caught in her throat. It was a painting of the house, her house, but from the outside, at night. The windows glowed with warm light, and inside each window she could see silhouettes of people. But the strange part was, she recognized none of them. "This is so detailed," she whispered. "It feels real." She uncovered the second painting. Her hands shook. It showed a girl sitting alone on the floor, surrounded by broken paintbrushes, crying quietly. The strange thing? The girl looked exactly like Emma, but the painting was older than she was. Her skin tingled, her stomach dropped. How is that possible? She uncovered the third painting. This one was worse. It showed a dark room. This room, and someone standing in the corner facing the wall, their face completely hidden. The figure was tall, thin, and painted in black tones. The longer Emma stared at it, the more she felt like the painted figure was turning slowly toward her. She covered it immediately. Nope, absolutely not. What is going on in this house? For the next hour, Emma sat on the cold floor trying to calm her breath and her thoughts. Who lived here before? Why did they paint these strange images? Why did they leave everything behind? And most importantly, why did one of the paintings show her, even though she had never lived here until today? Emma didn't know it yet, but these paintings were the first clues of a mystery that would completely change her life. And the mysterious painter, the one who created these haunting images, was not gone as everyone believed. He was still here, watching, waiting, hoping someone would find the truth he left behind. Even stood there, frozen, staring at the endless shelves stretching into darkness. Each shelf was filled with glowing bottles, small glass containers with swirling light inside them. Some bottles glowed blue, some green, some bright gold. They looked alive, as if something inside was moving, breathing, waiting. For a moment, Ethan wanted to run away, but curiosity, his lifelong weakness, pulled him deeper inside. He reached out and picked up a small blue bottle. It felt warm in his hand. The light inside it swirled faster, like water spinning in a cup. And then, whisper. A soft voice escaped the bottle. Ethan almost dropped it. The whisper repeated, clearer this time. Find the Echo Keeper. Ethan stepped back, his heart racing. Find the... what? What's an Echo Keeper? He whispered to himself. But the bottle didn't respond again. The light dimmed, returning to its calm glow. Ethan carefully put it back on the shelf. The old man appears. Suddenly, footsteps echoed through the library. Step, step, step. Slow, heavy, old. Ethan spun around. From the shadows, an elderly man emerged. Long white beard, heavy robes, and eyes brighter than the glowing bottles. He looked powerful and tired. Welcome, the old man said. You should not be here, but destiny has brought you anyway. Ethan swallowed nervously. Who are you? The old man smiled gently. I am the archivist, the keeper of lost voices, the guardian of memories that the world has forgotten. Ethan blinked nervously. This place, what is it? The archivist walked past Ethan, touching one of the golden bottles. Inside it, a voice sang softly, a beautiful melody that felt warm and sad at the same time. This library, the archivist said quietly, contains every forgotten life story, every lost dream, every voice that once shouted but was never heard. Ethan felt a strange emotion rising inside him, a mix of sadness and wonder. Why am I here? Ethan asked. The archivist turned to him slowly. Because a voice has chosen you. Ethan froze. A voice? Yes, the archivist nodded. You touched a blue bottle. Blue voices are calls for help. Ethan's heart beat faster. And the whisper said something about an echo keeper? At those words, the archivist's face changed. His eyes widened slightly, his voice dropped to a whisper. Then your journey will not be simple. He stepped closer. It seems, young man, that the library has chosen you for a difficult task. Ethan stared at him. What task? The archivist looked toward the dark end of the library, a long hallway full of shadows. To find the Echo Keeper, he said, the one who can restore a broken voice or destroy it forever. A cold breeze moved through the library. The glowing bottles flickered. Some whispered softly, as if afraid. Ethan felt chills down his spine. What does this Echo Keeper look like? He asked. The archivist shook his head. No one knows. Some say the keeper is human. Some say they are a spirit. Some say they are not one person, but many. Ethan felt anxiety rising in his chest. How am I supposed to find someone no one has ever seen? The archivist smiled sadly. That is why the voices chose you. You have the heart to listen and the courage to walk a path others fear. Ethan took a deep breath. His legs felt weak.
His mind felt heavy, but something inside him whispered, "You can do this." The archivist turned and pointed deeper into the dark hallway. "Your journey," he said softly, "begins with the oldest voice in the library. Follow the path of flickering lights and do not stop, no matter what you hear." Ethan nodded slowly. His adventure was just beginning, and he knew it would change him forever.
Leo and Mira continued walking deeper into the canyon. The air felt cooler now, and the shadows on the rocks looked longer and darker. But the echo lantern kept shining with a soft, warm light that made the path easier to see. Leo looked at the lantern again. Something about the glow felt different, stronger, warmer, almost alive. "Mira, do you think it's just a lamp?" Leo asked. Mira shook her head slowly. "No, that's not a normal lamp. I've never seen anything like it before." Leo held the lantern up. Inside, the small crystal floated gently, as if it was breathing. Then, something unbelievable happened. The crystal inside the lantern flickered, and a soft voice whispered, "Don't be afraid of the dark." Leo froze. "Did you hear that?" he asked. Mira's eyes went wide. "Leo, the lantern is talking." Leo's heart raced. He didn't know if he should feel scared or amazed. The voice spoke again, clearer this time. "Fear grows when you run from it. Courage grows when you walk with it." Leo swallowed hard. The words felt like they were speaking directly to him, to the part of him that always felt unsure, scared, or too small for the world. "Mira, why is it saying that? Why me?" "Maybe because you're carrying it. Maybe it chose you." They continued walking, and soon the canyon path opened into a wide, hidden valley, a place neither of them had ever seen. The valley looked ancient. Tall stone towers stood broken and covered in vines. Strange symbols were carved on the ground. The wind moved softly, carrying a lonely, distant sound, like a forgotten song. Leo whispered, "What is this place?" Mira stepped forward. "I think this is an old settlement. People must have lived here a long time ago." Leo looked around and noticed something. Every symbol carved on the rocks looked similar to the symbols on the map they found. "We're close," Leo said. "Very close." Then the lantern glowed brighter, so bright that Leo had to cover his eyes. The voice spoke again, but this time it was louder, echoing through the valley walls. "Before you go further, you must understand something important. The journey ahead will test your fears, not your strength. Walk with honesty, or the canyon will close its path." Leo felt a deep chill when he heard this. He looked at Mira. "What does it mean? What fears? Whose fears?" he asked. Mira touched his shoulder gently. "Leo, everyone has fears. Maybe this journey is not only about finding the hidden place on the map. Maybe it's also about discovering yourself." He took a deep breath. Her words made sense, even though they scared him. The lantern dimmed again, returning to its normal, warm glow. Leo nodded. "Okay. Whatever comes next, I'll try to face it." Mira smiled. "That's all you need to do." They continued walking side by side toward the center of the silent valley. But they didn't know something important. The valley,
was watching them. And the real test had only just begun.
The next morning, Alex woke up feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today was the day he would present his team's project to the panel of mentors at the creativity workshop. He had been working on this for weeks, brainstorming ideas, refining solutions, and collaborating with his teammates. Now, the moment of truth had arrived. Before leaving his apartment, Alex reviewed his notes. He reminded himself that preparation was important, but so was adaptability. No matter how well he planned, there could always be unexpected challenges, and he needed to stay calm and focused. At the workshop, the room was buzzing with energy. Teams were adjusting their presentations, rehearsing speeches, and checking final details. Alex's team took a corner and quickly went through their presentation one more time. "Remember," said Alex, "we've prepared well, but let's also listen to each other and adjust if needed. The judges might ask questions we didn't expect." The presentation began. Alex's team started confidently explaining the problem they aimed to solve, the research they had conducted, and the creative solutions they proposed. As they spoke, Alex noticed the judges nodding, taking notes, and occasionally smiling. However, halfway through, one of the judges asked a difficult question that Alex hadn't anticipated. The team froze for a moment, unsure how to respond. Alex took a deep breath, remembered the advice of his mentor, and said, "That's a very good question. Our initial solution may not cover that aspect completely, but we have considered alternatives and can adapt our approach to address it." The judge nodded approvingly. Alex felt a surge of confidence. The team continued, now even more focused and energized. By the end of the presentation, they had answered all questions thoughtfully, demonstrating not only their creativity, but also problem-solving skills and adaptability. After the presentations, Alex and his team walked outside to reflect on the experience. They were nervous about the results, but they also felt proud of their effort and teamwork. Alex wrote in his notebook, "Today taught me that creativity is not only about ideas, but also about resilience, collaboration, and flexibility. Challenges are opportunities to think differently, and unexpected questions can guide us to stronger solutions. I am learning to trust myself and my team." After the presentations, Alex attended a networking session organized by the workshop. He met participants from different cities and countries, each with unique experiences and perspectives. They shared stories about projects, challenges, and lessons learned. Alex realized that connecting with others, listening carefully, and asking questions could provide new insights and expand his understanding of creativity. As evening approached, Alex returned to his apartment, feeling inspired and reflective. He spent time organizing his notes, planning his next steps, and thinking about how to apply what he had learned in future projects. He also wrote in his journal, "Every experience is a lesson. Creativity is not only about coming up with ideas, but also about learning from mistakes, listening to others, and adapting when necessary. I am growing not just as a student, but as a thinker, a collaborator, and a problem solver." Before going to sleep, Alex took a few moments to relax and reflect on the city around him. He thought about how far he had come since the beginning of the workshop, the skills he had developed, and the confidence he had gained. He knew the journey was far from over, but each day brought new lessons, challenges, and opportunities to grow. With a sense of purpose and calm, Alex closed his notebook, ready for the next day, knowing that every step he took in the creative process was shaping him into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person.